Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you for today's Bhakti Vedanta class. So today we'll be discussing 21st chapter. We started first sloka. Further we'll be continuing. Okay. We'll try to finish. This chapter is completely dealing about karmis. What is the Vedic rituals, Vedic life? So that is being explained here. So we have seen karmis, they should be seeing the guna and dosha. Why karmis they should see the guna and dosha?
To do good karma.
What is bad? Because they are still under some rules regulation.
So by seeing the good and bad, what will happen for the karmis case? हाँ? दे दीजिए 20 दिन और क्या उसके बाद क्या करें अभी इतना?
Make some discrimination while performing their activities, because karmi, they have to avoid the bad activities and they have to always consider good activities. But because by considering good activities, they can come to the sattva guna.
Yeah. By seeing the good and bad, so they will be leaving the bad and coming to the good, so that they can progress actually in their life. So that's why karmis, they should see the guna and dosha.
And also karma is not the direct sadhana to attain perfection.
Yeah. So can you Mike, you can ask. Other will know na, other how you suddenly you ask something and without knowing but that you just see on the online if you are there. Why you feel for the small thing so much bad? I don't know. And also you feel bad and you don't ask. I don't know why. I am not saying for my purpose, Prabhu. For students' purpose only. Ask in the mic.
What is that guna and dosa, and they are seeing guna and dosa in what?
So in this gunas, the three modes are there, na? So seeing guna means seeing the goodness, and dosha means in the rajas and tamas. So, and also we can be, but this is also relative, Prabhu. For the for a brahmana, so doing the studying the doing the tapasya and studying the Vedas is guna. But it's not that the whatever is guna for him cannot be a guna for the Sudra. It's not guna for him. He cannot go for that, studying the Vedas. So that's why this guna dosha is also relative. Guna dosha is relative for the each, for everyone. So you have the society, variety kinds of the people. So whatever is prescribed for them, doing that is guna, not doing the whatever is given to them, that is dosha actually. Like that. Ultimately, that will increase they will progressing actually by that. Yes. So yeah, as prescribed by the Vedas. That we are going to see today. Today we are going to see in this chapter. So what is Vedic life? So that. But if you come to the case of the bhaktas, in the case of the bhaktas, they don't see any guna and dosha, because they are always doing the sakshat bhakti 24 hours. So that's why. And who became the expert in the bhakti and also in the gnana? Bhakti siddhas and gnana siddhas, they don't see any guna and dosha. We are going to discuss today this area, only this much. Karmi. Previously, we have seen this, that, and coming from there to this many, but yes. Yesterday's class, so try to revise that Shraddha. So try to revise and meditate on that. So how Shraddha and Bhakti having the relation. It's very important actually. Yeah, it's a it's an attribute or the visheshana for the person, not the, it is an anga of the bhakti, and it is not going to give the result of the bhakti. Result of the bhakti is not dependent on the Shraddha. So like the several points we established. Yeah. So Shraddha is anga of the, so Shastra Vidheya Avadharanasya Angam, and not the, it is not the anga of the bhakti. And bhakti is self-sufficient. Bhakti is having such a shakti that you can give the result, like the fire. So like this, many things we have seen. Okay, today in this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, you will see, which is quite elaborately explained. First sloka also, yes. So Gunadoshadar Bhumna Prokta Karmadikarishu Ekavimshe Tat Prapanchaha Srutyartascha Vinishchitaha. So Gunadosha Bhumna Prokta. So Karmadikarishu. So Gunadosha Darshini means the one who sees the Guna and Dosha. He is Bhumna Prokta. He is said by Bhumna Karmadikarishu. Karmadikarishu. In he is Adhikari for the karma. Ekavimshe tat prapanchaha. That means Gunadosha Darshi, who sees the Guna and Dosha, he is Adhikari for the karma, and this is expanded. Tat prapancha means expansion of that. Srutyartascha. That means meaning of the Sruti also will be seeing. So this is, that means ultimately in this chapter we are going to discuss the Guna Doshas for the karmis. So next, in this first sloka, Sakama Karmino Nindati Ya Etaniti. Sakama Karmino. So in the, what is the first sloka? Ya Etan Matpato Hitva Bhakti Gnana Kriyatmakan Shudran Kamas Chalai Pranair Jushanta Samsarantite. So someone who is living the that means Sakama Karmi. Sakama Karmi means who? He who is not at all doing anything, only doing the activities and enjoying. So he is rejected here in the first sloka. So first sloka, what Krishna is saying? So Krishna is saying either do the bhakti, that, or either do the jnana, or otherwise do the kriya. Kriya means karmarpanam here. Do this. But he rejected this person. This person is completely out. Sakama Karmi. Sakama Karminaha Nindati. That means Sakama Karmis. Sakama Karmi means he. These are all Karmis, but Nishkama Karmis, these are all. Karma Arpana they are doing. Yeah. So Karmi means Sakama Karmi. That's obvious. So he always have his only desire, selfish desires. So that's why mat pataha itva. All these are all in the samukyam. Yes, there is a samukyam is there. Here also samukyam is there. Here also samukyam is there. Yes, this is samukyam. This is having the samukyam in what way? This one. It is entry door for the either of this or that. So in that way, karmarpanam is also samukyam. Yeah, samukyam means connecting with the absolute truth. Samukyam means connecting with the absolute truth. That is happening in these two cases, karmarpanam case. Anyway, these two are directly connecting. And karmarpanam is also connecting, being a entry door for the either jnana or the bhakti. So that's why Krishna is encouraging samukyam. But here, is he have any samukyam karmi? Karmi doesn't have any samukyam. So that's why, yeah, he is nindati.
We are accepting this karmi,
Ah,
sakam karmi,
yeah,
because they don't have samukya.
Yeah.
They are doing work for their own pleasure.
yes,
Okay, so because of that, there is samsara for them.
yes.
But we see this even the karma arpana,
Ah,
they also they also they are offering it to the Lord.
yeah.
But still we learn from the previous chapter, I think, even the karma arpana, they also still in samsara.
Hmm.
They also come to the samsara.
Yeah.
But here, both karmi and the karma arpana, they also still in the
The,
samsara.
the difference is he's trying to connect with the absolute, but he's not at all trying.
That means there is a hope for the karma arpana to
Yeah.
transcend this karma arpana area.
Yeah, he by doing karma arpana, his heart will be purified.
Yeah.
And then he will enter into this, or he will get this detachment,
Detachment.
or otherwise that he'll get the
shraddha.
love, the taste for the Krishna, they will enter into that actually.
So because of this, there is a
Yeah.
chance for them to
No, it's a sure actually. Surely, if they do karma arpanam steadily,
okay.
so they will definitely enter into either of these. So, but these people are not at all trying to connect with the absolute. So the own self. So that's nindati. So Krishna is blaspheming them. Nindati means who is blaspheming, rejecting, condemning. Krishna is condemning them by this sloka. Ye etan mat patah hitva bhajana gnana kriyatmakan. That means these three he is living. Shudran kamas chalaihi. That he is doing shudra kaman. That means so flickering material. So what is the shudra kaman means? Shudra kaman means going to the heaven. So getting the good kingdom. So this kind of desires. So he is having this, and to fulfill those desires, he is doing a lot of activities. And samsaranti, this person will be getting samsara. But who is doing the karmarpanam, definitely they will be connected to the Lord and connecting. They're trying to connecting to the Lord. So then they will be getting the progress in their life. So that's why here, Shudran kama chalaihi pranaihi jushantaha samsarantite. They will be again and again, in millions of lifetimes, even if they do the karma, so they will be here only. But these people, if they keep on doing the karma arpana again and again, antakarana will be purified and they will be progressing. Okay, next sloka, we'll go to the next sloka. Svesvedikare yanishta saguna parikirtitaha viparyayastu doshah syad ubhayoresha nischayah.
Steadiness in one's own position is declared to be actual piety, whereas deviation from one's position is considered impiety. In this way, the two are definitely ascertained.
Yeah, Sweswe, that means in wherever they have adhikara, so based upon their adhikara, they should follow that path. Then that is gunaha. So viparyayastu dosha. So see, guna dosha definitions keep on changing. So Tirumala. So guna, here guna means how he is explaining. So staying in his according to your qualification, so you are following that path, then that is gunaha. If you are according to your qualification, you are not following the path, then that is dosha. So here, so quite number of lines are given. So just the essence we'll see. Nano maya ko gunaha ko doshaha iti tvam prishtaha tvaya cha madbhakteshu gunadosha darshi doshaha tadabhavo gunaha iti prayuktam tatra aham idam ashanke. Very practical, that means explanation Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gave. So previously what he said, Krishna told to Uddhava, you should not see gunadosha in my devotees. Yes, Krishna told previously, one should not see gunadosha in my devotees. Tvayacha madbhakteshu gunadosha dharshir dosha. That means if anyone see gunadosha in his devotees, so then that is dosha, he said. Tadabhavo gunaha. If anyone doesn't see the dosha, gunadosha in the devotees, then that is gunaha. So iti pratyuktam tatraha idim ashanke. So after hearing this, so Uddhava is having some doubt and he is asking. That means, of course, this sloka is answer for that doubt. So what is that doubt? You can just, so here, यदि कश्चित् त्वत्कथादौ श्रद्धालुः शुद्ध भक्त्याधिकारी प्रतिष्ठितैः कर्मिभिर् ज्ञानिभिर्वा युक्त्या युक्त्या प्रभु क्या है युक्त्या अतैव अच्छा युक्त्या तथैव अच्छा दैव युक्त्या दैवाद् वशीकृतः तद् गुणतः एव सन् औषधपान न्यायेन अरोचकमपि कर्म करोति ज्ञानम् अभ्यसति तदा तस्मिन् भक्तेः किं गुणदोषदर्शिः तदा तस्मिन् भक्तेः न तस्मिन् भक्ते प्रभु एक्चुअली हियर मेरा पूरा एकदम ब्लर हो गए भक्ते किम गुणदोष दर्शिल दोषः किम तदभावः एव गुणः किम च क्या बोल रहे हैं एक्चुअली देखिए सो व्हाट वी लर्न टिल नाउ एवरीवन सो वन शुड नॉट सी so gunadosha in the devotees. Whoever is doing devotee means ananya bhakta. Whoever is doing the ananya bhakti, so in that person Krishna said that one should not see the gunadosha. If anyone see, then that is a dosha. If they don't see, then that is a guna. Now Uddhava is having a question. So what is that question? He's asking that, so okay, someone is qualified to do the bhakti, that means ananya bhakti. He has the full shraddha. What is the qualification for the bhakti? Shraddha is the qualification. He has full shraddha. But what happened? Because of the influence of the gnani, that means established gnani, very powerful gnani, or otherwise karmi, so he came, that means he came in contact of this pratishtita, that means established gnani and karmi. Then this devotee, so by their logic, gnani's logic and karmi's logic and daiva vashat, so that means because of some fate, so somehow this bhakta started practicing karma or gnana. So karma or gnana he started practicing, although he is qualified to do ananya bhakti. So then in that kind of bhakta, whether we have to see, that means gunadosha or not. Who is asking? Uddhava is asking. But he is qualified to do the only ananya bhakti, but he started doing the association of the because of the logical arguments of the karmis and gnani, like people who doesn't, that means like taking the aushadha, that means medicine. Of course it is very bitter, but still that is taken because of the, what is that, aushadha aushadha pana nyayena arochakamapi. Of course this is not so taste for him. For this bhakta, karma is not taste, or practicing gnana is also not taste for him. Sometimes you'll be seeing someone is very much qualified to do the ananya bhakti, but so he's coming in contact of such a powerful speakers, very logically they speak, and they started telling to him, so you should meditate, you should not, you are not the body, so you have to maintain, that means the equilibrium state, and matra sparshyastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha. Such a strong influence, logical words he is hearing, and he started doing that. And also sometimes karmi, work is worship, so we are taking the food ingredients from the society, means you should also contribute, and you should also do karma. So maybe some such a long strong logical arguments someone gave, so then they started doing the, even that is not so tasty, but arochakamapi, he is not so, karma and gnana are not so tasty, but still so he is doing. Then this bhakta is doing the karma and so gnana, karma or gnana. So whether, then Uddhava is asking, in that case, so shall we see gunadosha in him or not? in this bhakti, in this devotee. So can we see gunadosha in him or not? That he is asking. Okay, that's one point. Jnanam va abhyasati tada tasmin bhakte kim gunadosha darshiltu. So if I see, that means what he is saying, if I see gunadosha in this devotee, then it is wrong or not? But he is qualified to do Ananya Bhakti, but now he is doing the karma, practicing our gnana. Then in that case, so if I see gunadosha, then it is dosha or not? So next, kim tadabhave gunah. And also otherwise I should not see gunadosha in that devotee, then that is only guna. So do you think? So that is the right? So like that Uddhava is asking. One more point is bringing. Kincha yadi kaschid aprapta mahat krupatvat bhaktau ajata samyak shraddha karmi jnani va bhaktotkarsham društva tadrusha nijotkarsha kamanayaiva swadikara praptani krutyani tyaktva तद्वदेव भगवन्तं भजन् आत्महनं वैष्णवत्वेन ख्यापयति तदा तस्मिन् प्रभु क्या तदा तस्मिन् दम्भिनी जगद वंचके किं गुणदृष्टिः कर्तव्या न वा इति चेत् सत्यं शृणु तर्हि. He is bringing one more point. So Uddhava is asking one more point. Okay, first case you understood, everyone. Second case is, in the second case, someone he's here. That means he came in some devotees association, but he didn't get the association of the strong pure devotees. That's why he didn't get till now the qualification to do Ananya Bhakti. That means 100% Shraddha he didn't get, but he came to know that so the lifestyle of the Ananya Bhakti is superior, but still he didn't get that qualification, and he is meant for the doing the karma and or otherwise practicing the gnana, whatever. So, but he is not qualified to do the Ananya Bhakti since he didn't get this such a Shraddha. For that, he didn't get this such association of the strong devotees. But still, he is trying to do Ananya Bhakti. So he started practicing Ananya Bhakti, but he is not following what he has to do, but he started following the Ananya Bhakti. So he is doing that vanchake. That means he is cheating. So then in that person, whether I should see the guna dosha or not, two categories. So Uddhava is asking this question also. Then Krishna is saying, acha beta, then you hear from me now. I will tell. So this is the point. What do you people say? In these two cases, we should see guna dosha or not? Tell your based upon your understanding. Ram Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, in the first case, it is very clear because as we said right from the beginning, that the Shraddha is the attribute of the performer and not that of the Bhakti. So this case of seeing the Guna Dosha in a kind of a devotee who, even though situated in Ananya Bhakti platform, but being under the influence of a Jnani and Karmi and tries to follow or imitate them, is the Guna Dosha to be seen in him or not? In my opinion, definitely Guna Dosha should be seen in him, yes. Because if he has been cultivated the proper Shraddha, then there was no question of any deviation. Since the deviation has been observed, so that means it is actually a kind of a fall down. So in my opinion, Guna Dosha must be seen in this first case.
Second case?
In the second case, as you are referring that this is a practitioner who is in the Karmarpana level, but he did not get a powerful association of an Ananya Bhakta, but okay. on an external platform, he is trying to imitate and follow the aspect of a Ananya Bhakta. So yes. That means he's first of all did not get Shraddha and he did not get the right kind of an association, but yes. Simply because of having just heard about Ananya Bhakti's purity, he wants to imitate that. So yeah. Thereby still he is not yet qualified, because it is an aspect we said in the beginning The Shraddha is an active attribute of the performer. So if it is not there, then definitely Gunadosha should apply in him. In my understanding, both cases, Gunadosha should be applied.
Very good. Okay, let us see now answer
Yes,
from
Prabhu.
the Krishna.
I'm very eager to hear that from.
Yeah. स्वे स्वेधिकारे यानिष्ठा सा गुणः परिकीर्तितः विपर्यस्तु दोषः स्यात् उभयोरेष निश्चयः. So Krishna is saying tarihi srunu. So satyam trunu tarihi gunadoshayoho lakshanam ityaha. Now he is, what is guna, what is dosha? So now he is clarifying. The Tirumala was asking, what is guna and dosha? The fundamental point is he is establishing. Guna means whatever. That means what I also said. What is guna? So following your path based upon your qualification is guna, and not following your path is, according to your adhikara, according to your eligibility. So if you are not following that and following other is dosha. That means in the both cases they are having the dosha actually. They are not doing their qualified, that means path. They are not following their qualified path. They are doing the other's path actually. So then that's why there is one should see the dosha actually in that. When that will become guna, if the Ananya Bhakta follows Ananya Bhakti, and this who is not qualified for the Ananya Bhakti, then he has to do his own Bhakti. So this is very important. Many times we, without seeing the qualification, we artificially impose on the people. You should do this. Temporarily, in our preaching also it happens. Yes or no? Without seeing the qualification, whether he has the proper Shraddha or not, just for the, then what will be happening? He tries to come to do the Ananya Bhakti without qualification, without that kind of Shraddha developing. And then after that, after coming here, Vanchakaha, he will become Vanchakaha. He'll be cheating. He'll be cheating because such a Shraddha he doesn't have. He doesn't have the Shraddha to engage himself 24 hours in Sakshat Bhakti. Then you artificially imposed him because of your influence. You made him to do that. Just by that means hearing, but not so understanding and getting that such a faith. Just hearing the merits of the Ananya Bhakti, simply you driven him. Then what happened? That means you are deviating him from his adhikara to that means unqualified path you are recommending to him. Then what will happen? That is dosha actually. That is dosha. Then there will be bad results will come. He cannot continue without that kind of Shraddha. And many times people say that, Are Prabhu, what is there? It's good. That means tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harer. That means leaving his dharma, and even for the few times, so he did the bhakti, then there is no loss. But there Jiva Goswami wrote, Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harer. This sloka is meant for, so whoever had Shraddha, Purna Shraddha completely. It's not for the everyone. No. So that means Tyaktva Swadharma means now he is not qualified, he doesn't have the 100% Shraddha, and can he leave all the Swadharma and do the Ananya Bhakti? No. Of course, Ananya Bhakti is so great and its merits is having, but this person didn't realize, but just you are pushing him. That is wrong.
How can one person understand that he has achieved or attained the full Shraddha to the Ananya Bhakti? Because
Sharanagati is the,
because why I'm saying, because the person, he might maintain some humility.
Yes.
I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified.
Yeah.
But until at what point you can understand that person is actually qualified for Ananya Bhakti?
Yeah, what symptom of Shraddha is the Sharanagati. So he has such a that means that is the process actually. Now the main important point is how to check the Shraddha. We have the 6 items for the Sharanagati. So those anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam raksheshyati iti. So that means these are all there. So these has to be properly one understood, and according to those lakshanas, given lakshanas, if someone is behaving and someone is having such a confidence on the Lord, and then he can be. So that's why that part is taken by the Siksha Guru, proper Siksha Guru, who observes him nicely, who counsels him, who understands him. That's why in the Bhakti Sandarbha also it is said, Siksha Guru's role is there actually. He has to see the progress of this. And first of all, he should know the concept clearly. Siksha Guru should know first of all. And after that, Siksha Guru has to understand what is Sharanagati nicely. And then he has to, based upon that, he should instruct his people. But in the public class, you can glorify the Ananya Bhakti. But the step has to be, but you should present that as it is. So for doing Ananya Bhakti, this is Shraddha is a qualification. That means Purna Shraddha, surrenderance. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanagati. This is. So to check that kind of surrenderance, so we have the 6 characteristics of the Saranagati. Those has to be observed by his Guru, by his Siksha Guru, who is closely guiding him. So then he will be, yeah.
Sometimes we see when there is example in Srimad Bhagavatam, like
Yeah.
Prahlad Maharaj,
Yeah.
although he was in Prema, but he was considering himself as a Karmi.
Yeah.
He was considering himself out of humility. Correct.
Yeah, Prabhu. But Guru, in front of Guru, so those will be
No,
expressing.
what I'm saying, this doesn't mean like this, even that see someone he's in always in Bhava stage, but still to show others that actually I'm not qualified.
Yeah.
I'm not qualified.
That can
for
be
this.
possible. Yes.
I'm not qualified for this. Still,
Yeah.
But by seeing the symptom, we can understand that where he is now.
Yeah, we cannot actually, a general public cannot guide him actually, understand or guide. So that has to be dealt by his Guru only. So his Guru has to guide him, and he will be deciding which stage he is, whether he has the 100% Shraddha or not. So one has to approach his own Guru instead of and also we should not recommend to others also who are not under our guidance actually. That's not a right thing, no, actually. Because Guhyam Akyati Pruchati. So whoever is sharing his heart, so to them only we can guide this. So this, but principle we are discussing. This is a principle, but implementation is done by the Guru actually. The implementation is done by the Siksha Guru, counseling. Okay. So everything very clearly our acharyas discussed such a nicely all the points.
We are discussing about Ananya Bhakti. So the day before yesterday also we discussed like the Uttama Adhikari devotee, he is in the stage of Bhava, and Madhyama Adhikari, he also doing Ananya Bhakti.
Uttama Adhikari, no. Actually, devotees can be divided into many categories. Like you see, Indians can be divided into many categories, many ways. Based upon the gender, if you divide Indians, how many types of categories you can get? Based upon gender? No, generally. So first of all, try to understand what is Madhyama, Uttama and Kanishta. That I want to clarify.
As we hear from the last 1 week, like Kanishta Adhikari is covered by Jnana and Karma, and Madhyama Adhikari he crossed that Jnana and Karma. He is eligible to do Ananya Bhakti, right? So and without without seeing that, and those who do the Ananya Bhakti, he don't see any dosha to other, right? So how come then to preach other, so that Madhyama Adhikari he have to preach, then without seeing the good and bad, how come he give initiation and how come he judge? Other without judging, he cannot preach. So I want to know about this clearly.
So see, Madhyama Adhikari, he is a preacher actually. Yeah? So he will be seeing the Gunadosha in the karmis, not in the Gunadosha in the devotees. What is Krishna is saying? One should not see Gunadosha in the devotees. That means Madhyama Adhikari will see Gunadosha in these people. So these who are, that is allowed. You can see Gunadosha in the karmis. But Krishna is saying not to see Gunadosha in devotees.
So how they and also in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Uttama Adhikari, he see everyone is equal, and he simultaneously, because he is in Ananya Bhakti. So we discussed that Madhyama Adhikari also, he's also in Ananya Bhakti. So how he is seeing to other guna dosa? I want to clarify this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so Uttama Adhikari and Madhyama Adhikari, actually, you see, classification of Uttama Madhyama can be
Because
done in.
sorry, here we are talking about because he is in Ananya Bhakti. That's why I'm asking this question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, classification of, first of all, one point. Uttama Madhyama Kanishta, this classification can be done in many ways. Okay. It can be classified based upon the consciousness of the devotee. So you can classify devotee into three categories. Like Indians, you can classify Indians into many ways. You can classify Indians based upon the state. You can classify Indians based upon the language. You can classify Indians based upon the gender. You can classify Indians based upon the religion. If you classify Indians based upon religion, then how many categories you can get? Hindus, Muslim, Isai, so Parsi, Sikh, and Bauddha. I like this 6-7 categories. If you classify Indians into based upon what do you say? So based upon state, total 30 or 31 states are there. So that means 31 types of categories you can get. If you classify Indians based upon gender, how many categories? 3: male, female, and neuter gender. So like this, we are classifying devotees based upon the different principles. Okay. So classifying devotees based upon the consciousness, then Uttama, Madhyama, and Kanishta you have. Okay. So those Uttama, Madhyama, Kanishta you are classifying based upon consciousness. That means Sarva Bhuteshu. That means Uttama Bhakti is seeing in every living entity. Ishta Daivam. That means whom he is so worshipping, that same Lord, that the same form of the Lord he will be seeing everywhere in every living entity. So that's why there is no point of preaching or anything. But if you see the Madhyama Adhikari, so Ishvara Tadadineshu Balishu Dishasu, that means he is he's having the love in the devotees, in the Lord, and in his devotees, Maitri, and in the someone who is so innocent, for them he is having the Kripa, and someone who are so envious, for them he is neglecting. So like this, you have classification of the devotees based upon the consciousness, and also you have classification based upon the sadhana. Someone who practice the bhakti based upon the bhava, then uttama. So it doesn't mean that this uttama, that uttama same. No. Understanding? You're getting the point. So you should not say that this uttama, that uttama same. So and someone, that means who is practicing, who is living jnana karma and practicing only ananya bhakti, then is madhyama. And who is practicing, so that means bhakti along with karma and gnana, then he is kanishta. So now your point is, you are asking that, so madhyama bhakta, so you are mixing this kind of classification with that kind of classification. You are understanding? So here Krishna, what he is saying, first try to understand this statement. Devotee, one should not see guna dosha in devotee, that means in ananya bhakta. So that is dosha. And devotees, they should not see guna dosha is not point. One should not see guna dosha in devotees. That is applicable to the Madhyama also, Uttama also, Kanishta also. So now Madhyama is not seeing the guna dosha in the devotees, but he is seeing guna dosha in.
I understand that. Actually, my point is
Uh,
those who are not in Ananya Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti is Shuddha Bhakti. But those who are Kanishta devotee, they are not in Ananya Bhakti.
Yes.
So those who are doing 24 lanes of Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti, so how they see other, even normal person, Guna Dosa, because yesterday or before yesterday, we talk about that. Because this person is doing Ananya Bhakti, so he don't see any Guna Dosa to other. So that's why I'm talking about this. That's
So-
why I put this.
So see, so Madhyama Adhikari is not seeing the Gunadosha in the devotees, but he will be seeing the Gunadosha in the karmis to uplift them. That's the point, na? There, he is not seeing Gunadosha in devotees. Okay.
How he deal then, if he not see?
he will see in the karmis, but he will not see in the devotees, ananya bhaktas. क्या चाहिए हमको समझ में नहीं चाहिए.
मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगा.
हाँ, बोलिए.
हम लोग
हाँ,
अभी कल या परसों
हाँ.
बात कर रहे थे, जैसे ये कर्म अर्पणम, उसके बाद में जब तक अनन्य भक्ति के लिए एलिजिबल नहीं है,
हाँ.
तो कल भी हम लोग चर्चा किए कि क्या अच्छा है क्या बुरा है, उसको ऐसे कंसिडर करना चाहिए कि
Yes.
कृष्ण को क्या अच्छा है क्या नहीं अच्छा है. लेकिन जो अनन्य भक्ति कर रहे हैं वो मतलब ट्रांसेंडेंट उसमें रहता है. तो इस चीज के बारे में हम लोग बात कर रहे थे, इसलिए वो व्यक्ति कैसे दूसरे का गुण दोष देख सकता है.
नहीं, या वो उसका कंडीशन है ना भाई.
पॉइंट को
आप समझे, आप मेरा पॉइंट समझिए. वो किस में गुण दोष नहीं देखेगा? भक्तों में गुण दोष नहीं देखेगा, लेकिन कर्मियों में देखना पड़ेगा ना, नहीं तो कैसे प्रचार करेगा? He is not seeing गुण दोष in the devotees. When he become uttama, then he will not see anywhere guna dosha, but madhyama will see. क्या गलती है उसमें, क्या समस्या है उसमें? वही ना, तब ना, तो ईश्वर तदधीन बालिश दिशस्सु is saying. हाँ, प्रेम मैत्री कृपा उपेक्षा he is giving. Not seeing the guna dosha in his activities. He has to see guna dosha in the karmis to preach only. That's fine. Okay, come to our point. So what Krishna is saying, Krishna is saying that whoever is qualified for whatever the path, so they has to follow that path only, but they should not leave their own qualified path and doing the others path, following the others path is dosha actually. Following their own path is guna. Swe svedikare ya nishtha sa gunah parikirtitah. Viparyastu dosha. Viparyastu means, so that is not your adhikari. You are not adhika. You have not qualified. You are not having qualification for that. You are doing that. Then that is dosha. So that's why in whatever the Uddhava is asking, the two cases, who is ananya bhakta but doing the karma and jnana, that means he is following the other's path. That means he is following the activities of the karmis and activities of the jnanis, but being ananya bhakta, qualified to the ananya bhakta, then that is dosha. Of course he is devotee, but it is dosha. And so someone is not qualified for the ananya bhakti, but he is trying to artificially vanchakaha. That means he is artificially trying to follow the activities of the ananya bhakti, and but he is qualified to do the karma. He has to do that karma. He has to practice, otherwise that jnana, but not doing that, then that is also dosha. So to say these two are the dosha, Krishna is saying this statement: Swe swe adhikare, according to their adhikara, so they should do. They should not do the others path. Then that is dosha. He is saying, even he is a devotee, but it is dosha. Even it is, that means you may think, oh, he is a karmi, but he is doing the ananya bhakti, it's good only na, but he's not qualified. He doesn't have that kind of shraddha. Who is not having that kind of shraddha and trying to do ananya bhakti, what will happen? Tell me, what will happen? So Tirumala, what will happen? If someone is not qualified for ananya bhakti, don't have full shraddha and sitting for the ananya bhakti, what will happen? Mithyachari.
Shahaji, no.
Mithyachari.
Mithyachari.
He'll become Mithyachari. Tayo Mithyachari.
He'll create something new for himself.
He will create and he will bend everything actually. Then pollution will be happening there. And ananya bhakta and doing the karmi, then bad example is setting.
New path for his
Convenience.
society.
He will bend the society's purity. He will be vanchaka. He will be cheating then. So that's why कहाँ है प्रभु? So गुणदोषयोः लक्षणम् इत्याह स्वे स्वे इति ज्ञानिनः ज्ञान एव कर्मिणः कर्मण्येव अधिकारः तत्रैव निष्ठा निष्ठात्वं गुणः किन्तु तयोः स्वतः फलदान समर्द्योः भक्तिमिश्रत्वेन अनुष्ठेयत्वं. So, but here, Bhakti anushcheyattu naishkarmyam apicchita bhavavarjitam ityadehi anyatha vaifalyameva Shuddha bhakta stitu bhakto eva nishtha gunaha tasyastu swatha eva faladhana samartyat karma gnanadyamishratveneva anushcheyatvam dharman samtyajya ya sarvan mam bhajeta iti. So Krishna, so that's why this karmi has to do the karma and this gnani has to practice the gnanam. But they should also mix this with the bhakti. This should mix with the bhakti. And this bhakta should follow bhakti. This bhakta should follow bhakti. But without mixing gnana and karma. Why? We all know. He should not mix, but he should mix, and he should mix. Because naishkarmyam apyachita bhavavarjatam nasobate gnanamalam niranjanam. So that means gnanam without bhakti going to nacharpitam karma yadapyakaranam. That means without offering that means karma he is doing. He should, that means what he should do? Karmi should do karmarpanam. Without offering to the Lord, this karma will not be no result. So that's why this karmi and this gnani also should add something. That means bhakti mishratvam they should do, but pure devotee should do only the bhakti. Pure devotee should do only the bhakti. They should not mix the gnana and karma. Okay. So naishkarmimapyachyuta bhavavarjatam ityadehi anyatha vaifalyameva Shuddha bhakta stitu bhakto eva nishtaha gunaha tasyastu swatah eva faladhana samartyat. Because why he should not follow gnana and karma? Because bhakti itself can give its result. So bhakti is having such a potency, and gnana and karma, they cannot give the result. Even if you follow the gnana process very strictly, that process cannot give the result of that, because it needs the help of bhakti. So that's why bhakti mishratvam is needed. So Krishna is saying, so gnani should follow the gnana only, karmi should follow the karma only. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur elaborating that there is a need of some bhakti also. This is more, Acharya is clarifying more clearly. They will not get any result. So that's why next Suddha Vaifalyam Suddha Bhakti Astu Bhakto Karma Gnanadyamishratvi Anushtheyatvam Dharman Samtyajya Sarvan Mam Bhajeta Iti Nagnanam Nacha Vairagyam Ityadehi Gnanadi Mishratve Sati Tasyaha Suddha Bhaktitva Pagamaha Syat. So Viparyaha Paradhikare Nishthatvam Ubhayoho Gunadoshayoho. So that's why if we do, that means bhakti without karma gnana he should do. If we do gnana and karma, then dosha. Then bhakta is in dosha. Similarly, if he doesn't do bhakti along with the gnana, then he will not get result. He will not get result. So, is here Ramakrishna Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So next. Shuddhya shuddhi vidiyete samaneshvapi vastushu dravyasya vichikitsartham gunadosho shubha shubho dharmartham vyavaharartham yatrartham iti chanagha.
O sinless Uddhava, in order to understand what is proper in life, one must evaluate a given object within its particular category. Thus, in analyzing religious principles, one must consider purity and impurity. Similarly, one's ordinary dealing, one must distinguish between good and bad. And to ensure one's physical survival, one must recognize that which is auspicious and inauspicious.
Yeah, Shuddhya Shuddhi Vidhiyeta Samaneshvapi vastushu. Dravyasya vichikitsardham gunadosho subhashubho dharmardham vyavaharardham yatrardham iti chanaga. For three reasons, dharmardham, so vyavaharardham, yatrardham, one should see what? Gunadosho. So dravyasya gunadosho vichikitsardham gunadosho subhashubho. Okay. Kincha gunadoshayoho prapanchaha mahan eva tam aham vishrunomi. This, so first he established what is guna and dosha. So following your respective duties is guna, not following is dosha. Then this prapancha, now he is expanding. So what is guna and dosha? So this guna dosha is a very big term actually. It has to be, so discussed a lot. You see, Shuddhya Suddhi. Dravyasya, which, so that means for a dravya also there is a guna and dosha. Time also guna and dosha. And also place also guna and dosha. So like this, for everything there is guna and dosha. So that's why now we are going to discuss many things like this. Dravyasya vichikitsa idam yogyam ayogyam va iti. So dravyas, that means if you take the dravya, it is appropriate or not. So this is, it is appropriate or not. Yogyam ayogyam va iti sandeha. So tan nivartanartham mashakardho dhumah iti vat. So samaneshu uttara sloke vakshamaneshu bhumyadishu atah eva shakamula phaladishvapi. So vastuka shakaha shuddhaha kalambi shakaha ashuddhaha ityevam gunadosho shubhashubho vidiyeta tatra dharmardham shuddhyadi shuddhena dharmaha ashuddhena adharmaha iti vyavaharartham gunadoshayoh shuddhyatvepi shishthanam vyavahara darshanat gunaha asuddhatvepi tad darshanat doshaha yatrartham shubhashubho asat प्रतिग्रहादयः दोषत्वे आपत्सु शरीर निर्वाह मात्रोपदानं शुभमेव अधिकोपदानं तु अशुभं पापमेव. So that means guna dosha are discussed based upon what? Dharma, based upon vyavahara, based upon yatra. Yatra means so survival. That means survival of the life. So guna dosha can be discussed on these various factors, based upon the various factors. So we'll be seeing in the next coming verses, dravyasya, that's the fifth verse, bhumya, agni, nila, akasha, bhutana, panchdatva. So there, from there onwards, we'll be seeing the guna dosha of the elements, that means dravya. So that means judgment, whether it is good or not. Next. So for example, so vastuka leaves are pure and kalambi leaves are impure. Like this, you'll be seeing dravya can be something is good and something is bad. So that is given by the Vedas actually. So that's why today in this chapter we are going to see, based upon the Vedas, what is guna and what is dosha of the different dravyas, different place, time, and various things. And also we are going to discuss, so here, what is pure is dharma and what is impure is adharma. Dharmartham also, that means based upon dharma. So which is dharma, that is pure, it is applied in ordinary dealings as good quality and fault. If approved behavior is seen in someone impure, it is a good quality, and if one doesn't see that good behavior in the impure person, it is fault. It is applied according to the circumstances as auspicious and inauspicious. Though hoarding is inauspicious, in time of calamity, collecting for survival auspicious. So that means for the yatrardham, that means Brahmana is there. Brahmana, so doing the Yajan, Yajan, Patan, Patan, Dana, Pratigruhnati. These are the 6 activities he has to do for his survival. But some emergency came, Apad Dharma. Getting Apad Dharma, then he can do what? Vaishya Karma. Yes? We have seen or not? Then this is not dosha, yatrardham. That means in general it is doing the Vaishya Karma for a Brahmana in general is a wrong. But for the maintenance survival, he is doing the Vaishya Karma. If he is not able to do that also, then he will be doing the Kshatriya activities. So like this, so we have seen that means based upon Vyavahara, based upon the survival, so these Gunadoshas also changes. So those all things will be discussing in the future is coming. Darshitoyam maya charo dharmam udvahatam dhuram. I have revealed this way of life for those bearing the burden of mundane religious principles. I have revealed this way of life. That means Krishna is describing the so good and bad. So that what happens? People will be understanding. These karmis can understand, can follow the right path. In the case of the Ananya Bhakti, there is no need to define the good and bad there. So, but here we need to define good and bad for the progress of the karmis. So next, 5th sloka. Bhumyabhyagnyanilaakasha bhutanam panchadhatava abrahmastavarādīnam sharira atma samyuta.
Earth, water, fire, air, and ether are the 5 basic elements that constitute the bodies of all conditioned souls. From Lord Brahma himself down to the non-moving creature. These elements all emanates from the 1% of Godhead.
Yeah, from Brahma, Lord Brahma himself down to the non-moving. So these basic elements that constitute the bodies of conditioned souls, these elements all emanate from the, first of all, Dravya. So he started explaining about the Dravya in Dravya Gunadosha. If you want to see Dravya and Gunadosha, he's explaining all these elements, all these living entities' bodies are completely made up of these elements, 5 gross elements, and also 23 elements. So you can take by the Upalakshana all these 23 elements. So these, everyone's body is made up of this. So that point he said, then further he will be explaining. Gunadosha bhida drishtir na nimittena hi swataha iti. So yat tvayoktam tat satyameva. So kintu nigamo hi lokopakaraka eva ityaha bhumi iti dvabhyam. So dharayanti iti dhatavaha bhumyadehi eti abrahmastavarādīnam sariraha sarirāmukha iti dehataha samyak uktam atmatah api aha atmeti. So this, first of all, if you want to know what is guna, means merit in the dravya, what is demerit, so that you will be coming to know. So first of all, how many, these 5 elements are the cause for the dravya. Vedena nama rupani vishamani sameshvapi dhatu shuddhava kalpyante etesham swartha siddhaye. My dear Uddhava, although all material bodies are composed of these same 5 elements and are thus equal, the Vedic literature conceive of different names and forms in relation to such bodies so that the living entities may achieve their goal of life. That means everything is made up of 5 elements only. This marker is also made up of 5 elements. Kartal is also made up of 5 elements. But still we have Vedas are giving the different names for each. Otherwise, if names are not there, then how can you select? Then what is good and bad? So if to decide good and bad, you need to have some specific identification for the each padartha. Of course, everything is made up of 5 elements only, then consider everything as equal. So now if you, instead of taking the food, then even mud is also made up of 5 elements, and why don't we eat then mud? Yeah. Huh? Go and hug the tiger. Tiger is also, that means like what Krishna has said in the previous sloka, Brahmaji's body is also made up of 5 elements. Even a tiger body is also made up of 5 elements. Even the children and wife body is also made up of 5 elements. Then why don't you hug the tiger? But no. So that means Vedena Nama Rupani Vishamani Samayeshwapi. Of course, these are all made up of with 5 elements, but Vishamani, they have categories. They have the different name and form. Dhatu Shuddhava Kalpyanti Yetesham Swartha Siddhaye. Why Swartha Siddhaye? Why it is for the, that means Purushartha Siddhaye. That means to, what is the Swartha of the Karmi? That means Dharma Artha Kama. Dharma Artha Kama. Kama, and yeah, next he will be coming to the moksha. So that's the Swartha Siddhaye. So to do dharma, the objects, of course, all made up of 5 elements, but has to be properly named. Properly named. Dhatushu, Deheshu, Sameshu api. That means dhatus, that means Pancha Mahadhatus. Dhatu means what? Pancha Mahabhutas. They are all equal based upon the, if you see every object in that view, that means with the Pancha Mahabhutas only made up of. So Nama Rupani Vachaka Vachani Brahmano Ayam. That means Ayam Brahmana, Ayam Brahmachari Iti. That means he is Brahmana. He is, of course, all body is made up of 5 elements. Can we call everyone as same? No. And if you call everyone as same, and if you give the same respect for the Brahmana and for the Sudra, then that is dosha. So that's why Nama, giving the names and giving the, for certain forms, giving the certain names is important. Who gave that? Who gave the names for these all? Vedas are giving. So that's why Guna dosha is very important for karmis. So Brahmacharyam iti Tambula Tailakadir Yam iti. This is Tambula, this is Tailam. So if you take, instead of taking Tambula, if you consider everything same, and Tailam, if you drink, then what will happen? Then yeah. Tailadikadir Yam iti Varnashramadi Nibandhanani Kalpanayam Nibandhanani iti Varnashramadi Nibandhanani Kalpanayam Prayojanam. By doing this kind of classification, you can organize the society. It is needed. Divide the society. What Prabhupada is saying. Society must be divided. You cannot say everyone is equal. The principle of the constitution is equality. How everyone is equal? Then why don't you eat mud instead of eating the rice? Everything is equal. Na? Why you are considering equality only for the humans? Why don't you consider the animals also equal? Huh? This pura false funda. So that's why you have to divide all the objects systematically as given by the instructions of Vedas, so that the division of the society is known as Varna and Ashrama. You have, of course, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, all their bodies, everyone's body is made up of 5 elements. Can you consider same? No. Because there is a need. The quality is different from everyone to one to another. And then you have to see that difference and differentiate them. Then society will be, then what will be? What is the ultimate goal? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Swardhe. That means Swartha Prayo, Swartha Siddhaye. That means upliftment of the Jivatma. For that purpose, divisions has to be made. Naming has to be given. It is needed. Today we are going to discuss this. That means the general system in the society. That's a Vedic system. So how Vedic system is dividing the various things, that we are going to see. So Varnashrama Nibandhanani. That means these divisions are the causes for the having the Varnashram. So Varnashramadi Nibandhanani Kalpanayam Prayojanam. Etesham Praninam Swartha Siddhaye means Pravritti Niyama Dwara Dharmadishu Purushartha Siddhaye, especially Dharma Artha Kama. So by properly dividing the all the objects and giving the proper names and respectively utilizing that, that means then what will be happening? You will be getting the, you will be doing the dharma, artha and kama. Now also society. So we are doing the vikarma. Prabhupada says modern educational centers are the spiritual slaughterhouses. These factories are manufacturing nuts and bolts. So this is not the business of the human beings. So because they lost this direction, the divisions of the objects based upon the varna and ashrama and by the Vedas, that's a Vedic lifestyle. So we say that means Vedic lifestyle. Vedic means what? This is the Vedic. That means you have to see the society and objects and everything. Categorization of everything should be done based upon the Vedas. So that. Yeah. Deshakalaadi bhavanam vastunam mama sattama gunadosham vidiyeta niyamartam hi karmanam.
Oh, sadly, Uddhava, in order to restrict materialistic activities, I have established that which is proper and improper among all material things, including time, space, and all physical objects.
Yes. What he's saying, why he did these divisions of the all the objects and also people and also everything, even trees, plants, everything is divided, and also said the this is guna and this is dosha. Like if you take the trees, so that means this neem tree is auspicious, is a banyan tree is auspicious, and this some other trees so which are inauspicious. So why he did all this for the upliftment of the jiva. So yeah, gunadosha vidiyate niyamartham hi karmanam. So that's why one will be doing that respective so activities which can uplift them. So everyone is not equal. Everyone is not equal. Desha kaladi bhavanam vastunam mama gunadosha vidiyate niyamartham hi karmanam. That means, so I have established that which is proper and improper among all material things, including time, space, and all physical objects. Why? In order to restrict material activities. If this kind of division is not there, then everyone do everything. So that's why now we have in Indian Constitution, for example, one thing. In Indian Constitution, equality is there. Equality. That means right. Everyone should be treated equally, even man, female, woman, everyone. Then based upon this, what is the thing is coming? So now, so someone, that means Sabarimalai, that is one of the place, and there is a fighting actually. Matajis, actually the Matajis are not allowed to climb on that mountain. Into the temple. So they are not allowed to enter into that temple, Sabarimalai, that hill, climbing and entering in the temple. But now they put the case. They put the case, Matajis. So woman, someone, some liar, and they saw in Indian Constitution there is a right. If anyone, if you treat someone based upon the gender, then this is an offense. So that means you are suppressing someone to do that activity based upon the gender, then this is also violence. And then what? So then now they are also allowed. Now after some days in the temples, in the Garbha Mandir, so women so considered as impure in certain because of certain reasons. And now Indian Constitution is having the right of equality. That's a fundamental right. So now if you are treating the woman, that means you are restricting women based upon the impurity. So to not to enter into the Garbha Mandir, Garbhagudi of the temple, then if they put case, then they will win. And then you have to allow. That means what Krishna did, Krishna divided society. And Krishna put the rules and regulations. You are belong to this category. Now you have to do this. Your activities are this. That means your activities are controlled by the based upon the Vedas. He gave the Vedas for us. And now you are, what you are trying to do? You are trying to bring everything as one, equal. That means this is the problem actually in the society. Then this constitution is trying to destroy completely the religion, Vedic lifestyle. That is, every day they are fighting. Every day. That means, so you should not mistreat the people based upon the gender. That means male and male, they are marrying. And if you say that, hey, male and male, how they can marry? According to Vedas, it's a completely abominable activity. And now, according to Indian constitution, male is also living entity. Female is a male, another male is also is a person, is also a person. You should not discriminate based upon gender, and you should not stop them not to marry. See, this is the thing. Then how the society will be manifesting in few years? विनाश काले विपरीत बुद्धि. दिस इज विनाशा. बहुत बड़ा एक्चुअली आपत्ति है. So see certain reasons. She is female, she cannot become guru, or this guru, and a male, that is his. So, but people are not ready to accept. So guna dosha is there based upon the body. Of course, in the pure devotion, there is no guna dosha. If someone is ananya bhakta, it's a male or female, but they can do. But the social customs also there. That means in the devotion, you should not see the guna dosha. But the certain things, diksha, these kind of things, some customs has to be followed based upon the guna dosha. So that's why the maturity of understanding what is guna dosha, that is the very long back discussion, 19th chapter ending. So that is carried forward in the 19th and 20, in the 19, 20 and 21st. Now we are seeing. So that's why all the time, place, materials, everything has to be divided based upon the Vedas and given the names. Don't artificially try to equate everything. Then it will be, if it is not Vedic and if you do this, then it will be the bad result. Okay, next. Akrishna saro deshanam abrahmanyo suchir bhavet Krishna saropya savira kekata sanskriterinam.
Among places, those buried of the spotted antelope, those devoid of devotion to the Brahmanas, those possessing spotted antelopes, but buried of respectable men, provinces like Kikata, and places where cleanliness and purificatory rites are neglected, where meat eaters are prominent, or where the earth is barren, are all considered to be contaminated land.
So now first you see dravya suddhi suddhi, shuddhi asuddhi. That means subha asubho, suddhi asuddhi. Shuddhya Suddhi, third sloka is saying, Krishna is saying, I will be explaining, of course, all padarthas are made up of 5 elements, but Shuddhi, Asuddhi, Dravyasya, Vichikitsardham, Gunadosho, Subha, Subho, Dharmardham, Vyavaharardham. Dharmardham, Gunadosho, or Vyavaharardham, Subha, Subho, Yatrardham. So like this, we have seen, that means he is going to define the Gunadosha for the Dravya, and also dharma and vyavahara for the emergency, that means survival. So those we'll be seeing. So prathamam shuddhya shuddhi prapancheti. What is clean and what is unclean? Krishna sara ityashtabhihi. That means 8 slokas. 8 slokas, using 8 slokas, we are going to see the what is pure objects and what are impure objects. So first of all, place. Which place is pure place and which place is impure place? How to say? Deshanam madhye Krishna harini rahitaha desha asuchihi. That's a Krishna harini, black deer. If black deer is not there, then that place is asuchi, impure. Tatrapi na santi So tatrapi na santi brahmanyaha. So brahmana bhaktimantaha yatra sattva. Acha sato. Acha satu atyantam asuchihi. So that means wherever there are no worshippers of the Brahmanas, Brahmana Bhakti Mantaha, that means having the people who are having the Bhakti for the Brahmanas, then that is even most impure. Krishna Saropi Krishnena Mrugena Sara Shrestha Api Asau, he gave the explanation. Asau Viraha Kikatascha Asamskriti Marjana Adi Sunyaha Mlecha Adi Bahulascha Erinam. There are different places. So explanation is given. So the example provenance like Kikata and places where uncleanliness and purificatory rites are neglected, where meditators and prominent or where the earth is barren are all considered to be the contaminated lands. These are the different contaminated asuchi, impure places. Next, like this we will be seeing 8 slokas. Okay, fatafat. कर्मण्यो गुणवान् कालो द्रव्यत स्वत एव वा यतो निवर्तते कर्म सदोषो कर्मकः स्मृतः.
A specific time is considered pure when it is appropriate, either by its own nature or through achievement of suitable paraphernalia for the performance of one's prescribed duty. That time which impairs the performance of one's duty is considered impure.
Yeah, now impure and pure of time. One second. Impurity and purity of the time. Kalasya suddhya suddhi darshayati. Now we are seeing the times purity and impurity. Which time is pure time and which time is impure? Karmanyaha karmarha kalaha gunavan suddha. That means sacha kaschit dravyataha mamsadi dravya labhataha eva tatshane eva karmarha kaschit swatah api पूर्वाह्नादि यतश्च कालात् सूतकादि दोषेण कर्म निवर्तते स दोषः. Purity and impurity. A time suitable for performance of karma is pure. The time becomes suitable the moment materials are obtained. Everything is ready to do that karma, then that is suitable time. Do that. Sometimes are pure by nature, such as afternoon. A time is impure, which impedes the action. That means you can consider that is impure time. You want to do something, and for that, whatever ingredients are there, those are not collected, then consider that this time is impure time. Understanding? You want to prepare the khichdi, and all ingredients are there, ready. Then that is a pure time, and do it. And you want to do khichdi, but rice is not there. Thinking that understand that time is impure time and don't do that. But sometimes time it can be itself by pure considered as afternoon, something like that. Huh? Suddenly, then it is impurity is started. Don't. So Krishna karmanyo gunavan kalo dravyatah swatah eva. So kalaha gunavan, time is right. Dravyatah swatah eva va yatah nivartate karma sa dosha. That means all the ingredients are not sufficiently arranged in that time, then that time is a bad time. So like that he is saying. Okay, next. Dravyasya shuddhya shuddhi cha dravyena vachanena cha samskarena tha kalena mahatvalpataya thava.
An object's purity or impurity is established by application of another object, by words, by rituals, by the effect of time, or according to relative magnitude.
An object's purity or impurity. So impurity of objects is shown in 4 verses actually. So object like plates are purified by water and made impure by urine or other impure items. Objects are made of pure or impure by words. When there is a doubt, if a Brahmana says the object is pure, it is pure. If he says it is impure, it is impure. Objects are purified, cleaning, sprinkling with water and etc. This is how flowers are purified. They are made impure by smelling them. Now rainwater becomes purified by waiting 10 days time. The water is impure if not left for that time. So bodies are water used by outcasts are pure if they are large and impure if they are small. So that means purity and impurity is decided based upon the various things. A cloth is purified by application of clean water and contaminated by application of urine. The words of saintly Brahmana are pure, but the sound vibration of a materialistic person is contaminated by lust and envy. A saintly devotee explains actual purity to others, whereas the non-devotee makes false propaganda that leads. Okay, pure rituals are those. Okay, a flower to be offered to a deity must be purified with water. Flowers or food cannot be offered to the deity, however, if they have been contaminated by smelled or tasted before the offering. So like this, what he is saying, object's purity or impurity is established by application of another object. Now water is, flowers are there, so they can be purified by applying the water on that. They are purified. And also impure, they be made impure if you apply on those flowers some urine, then they are impure. So that's the point. Purity of the one object is established by application of another object or words or by rituals. So by some rituals, so also some objects will be purified, and by the some not following the rituals, then those are not purified. Like this, you can see purification by the application of another object or rituals or otherwise by the words. ब्राह्मण वचनेन शुद्धिः तथैव अशुद्धम इति वचनेन न अशुद्धिश्च संस्कारेण प्रोक्षणादिना पुष्पादि. Like the rituals means samskara, sprinkling water. So rituals is seeing three things are given, na? Making the object one object will be purified by applying another object. That is what, when that is touched by the urine. So mamsa, when is that is like you see pots are there, by water you can purify it, and if you put urine on that pot, then that is so once again made impure. And by words, Brahmana says this object is pure, by his words it is purified. That means by the mantra also, Om apavitro pavitro va. So that means you are chanting mantra and you are making that pure. So by the rituals means by sprinkling water on that. So like samskara is like flowers, sprinkle on that. When you do the archana, so you'll be sprinkling the achaman you are doing, and then you are purifying that. So by the samskara also purified. Like this, purification can be done in many ways. Next, shaktya tava buddhya samruddhya cha yadatmane agham kurvanti hi yatha desha vastanusarata.
Impure things may or may not impose sinful reaction upon a person, depending on that person's strength or weakness, intelligence, wealth, location, and physical condition.
Impure things, they are not going to affect everyone in a same way. No, based upon someone is a very powerful person, then impure thing cannot do anything. The person's, that's a person's strength or weakness, intelligence, wealth, location, and physical condition. This is also very common, nothing to, like example, spoiled food is impure for those who have strength, but pure for those who don't have. Spoiled food is pure. तो गलत लिखे हैं इधर. Yeah. So buddhya putra janmado dashad bahir. 10th Prabhu, 10th one, 11th one. बुद्ध्या पुत्र जन्मादो दशाहात् बहिर्ज्ञानेन शुद्धिः अंतर्ज्ञानेन अशुद्धिः. This is not na Prabhu. जीर्ण मलिन स्यूत वस्त्रादेह समृद्धम प्रत्युशुद्धि दरिद्रम प्रतिशुद्धि. कहाँ से लिखी है इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन, इसलिए डर लगता है इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन कभी ओपन करने में. By knowledge that impurity from birth of a son lasts 10 days, that is, there is purity. By knowledge that impurity lasts less than that, there is impurity. A piece of worn out cloth is impurity for a person with wealth, but he is pure for a pure person. These objects and poor person, yeah, is pure for poor person. These objects and words etc. So create sin for the jiva according to the normal place and physical condition. So that means some objects are pure for someone and those are impure for others. So some few examples are given, so you can see the purport and understand. Go to the next slogan. Dhanya dharvasthitas stitatantunam rasa taisasa charmanam kalavayagni mruttoyai pardivanam yutayutaihi.
Various objects such as grains, wooden utensil, things made of bone, thread, liquids, objects derived from fire, as skins and earthly objects are all purified by time, by the wind, by fire, by earth, and by water, either separately or in combination.
He is also saying some more things, that means which can be purified by various other objects. So grains, wooden utensils, things made of bone, thread, these you can purify. Some you cannot purify, like plastic, you cannot purify. So you have to throw it. And like the mud pots. So generally in the previous days, mud pots also different types. Some mud pots which are not burned, so those impure, and you drink one time and throw it. But some are burned nicely and cooked, that means those pots, then those you can use multiple times. So like this, purity, or those can be purified. So with the application of various other things. So like kambal, that means wool. Wool is, there is no need to purify that by the water. Just to keep in the sunlight, then wool will be purified. So just beat it, then it's purified. So like this, purification of the objects changes based upon the different ways. Okay, amedyaliptam yadyena gandalepam vyapohati bhajeta prakritim tasya tachausham tavadishyati.
Pandit sir, a particular purifying agent is considered appropriate when it is when its application removes the bad odor or dirty covering of some contaminated objects and make it resume its original nature.
Yeah. A particular purifying agent is considered appropriate when its application removes the bad or odor or dirty covering of some contaminated object and makes it resumes its original nature. So purification, how can you say? This is the point. चलो क्या है? हाँ, आगे बढ़ रहा हूँ. इसमें क्या एक्सप्लेन करना है? समझ डायरेक्ट भक्ति वेदांत इसके लिए इतना एक्सप्लेन नहीं करना है, बस जो क्रिटिकल पॉइंट्स है वो एक्सप्लेन करना है, ये सब चले ना। इसलिए टोटल 43 है, अभी तो 30 नहीं है, इधर ही हम लोग, और भी आधा घंटा ही बचे हैं। चलो अभी this is clear na, so they're all very clear, understandable. Snana dana tapo vasta virya samskara karma bihi masmrutya chatmana shaucham shuddha karma chare dvijaha. The self can be cleansed by bathing, charity, austerity, age, personal strength, purificatory rituals, prescribed duties, and above all, by remembrance of me. So it is also, if you remember Krishna, so Sri Vishnu, Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, so like that. So everything will be purified. The Brahmanas and other twice born men should be duly purified before performing their specific activities. So these are all, yes. Mantrasya cha parignanam karma shuddhirmadarpanam dharma sampadyate shadbir adharmastu viparyayah. A mantra is purified when chanted with proper knowledge, and one's work is purified when offered to me. Thus, by purification of the place, time, and time, substance, or doer, mantras, and work, one becomes religious, and by negligence of these 6 items is considered irreligious. This is very important. 6 items. So, place, time, substance, doer, mantra, and work, karma. That means sthana, kala, desha, kala, so dravya, karta, mantra, karma. All these 6 has to be nicely purified. So he said how to purify various objects, methods. So purify and use it, then it is religious. That is right. That's why karmis, they do this. They offer the, that means that object to the Lord. They also chant the holy name to purify the that sachin padartha. Just they are thinking bhakti as the karmi, also bhakti make as anga of the karma. That means so to purify majorly, like in the case of Daksha Segya also, that arena. So to purify that, they chanted they called the Vishnu, just to purification purpose. So that's why they use bhakti. Everywhere bhakti is needed. Even here also bhakti is needed, but they are using it as a anga. So then if purify everything and do it, then it is religious. Without purifying those things and if you use, then it is irreligious. This is a fundamental point. Next, Kvachit gunopi doshah syad gunah gunadoshardaniyamastad vidameva badhate.
Sometimes piety becomes sin, and sometimes what is ordinarily sin becomes piety on the strength of Vedic intention. Such special rules in effect eradicate the clear distinction between piety and sin.
Yeah, this is karma. Actually, Krishna is explaining. So this the principles of Dharma Shastra. That means how this cleanliness, ritual, that means purity, and when it is dharma and when it is adharma, when it is guna and when it is dosha. He is, that means kvachit gunopi dosha sat and dosha api idina gunaha. This is also possible. So here is saying, I am cha guna dosha vibhaga na kopi nimata. That means it's not particular. That means it's not a hard and fast rule. That's why this is very difficult to define the dharma. That's why in the Santi Parva you can see many acharyas came. Shukracharya also gave what is dharma. Brahaspati gave what is dharma, and our Bhishmadev gave what is the dharma. Many. So dharma is very subtle. So saying this is guna, saying it is dosha, is also sometimes changes relative, and acharya to acharya also it changes sometimes. So you should be careful actually, and carefully seen and implement to design the society. Why guna dosha vibhaga is needed? So to have the, that means upliftment of the people in the society, guna dosha is needed. So that's why society must be to establish varnashrama, to give the duties for them, proper duties, so that they will be elevated. So for that purpose, guna dosha is very important. This is a very important chapter. So whoever wants to work on varnashrama dharma, to design the society rules. Okay, Gunadosha Bhanaga. So Apadi, that means in the emergency, Pratigraho Gunaha Api Anapadi Nishiddhatvat. So Dosho Api Kutumbatyagadir Vidina Vidibhalena Viraktadehi guna. Leaving the family is not good for the karmis. But for the virakta, it is good. It's good. And like this, and also during calamity, hoarding is a good quality. But during the normal times, it is a bad quality. Hoarding means what? HOARDA. Begging, huh?
Collection of objects in emergency, Prabhu. Like
Prabhu?
you collect more than required.
अच्छा, more than required. Hoarding, okay. हाँ, ऐसा ही कुछ जो एक कम समय में अच्छा होता है और वो दूसरे समय में दोष हो जाता है. समान कर्माचरणम पतितानां न पातकम औत्पत्तिको गुण संगो न शयान पतत्यदा. I will read. So the same activities that would degrade an elevated person don't cause fall down for those who are already fallen. Indeed, one who is lying on the ground cannot possibly fall further. The material association that is dictated by one's own nature is considered a good quality. So see, same activities, so will cause someone to fall down and someone not to fall down, because he already fell down. So already he is a drunkard, and someone drinking, someone is a very good boy and he started drinking, then there is a fall down for him. But who is already drunkard and by drinking, what kind of fall down will happen? He already on the ground. So he's already on the ground, then where he will fall down then? So that is the point. So some are cause for the fall down, and those may not cause for the fall down of others. So the irregularity of the rules is described. The activity for a person who is not fallen is a cause, a fall down. That means he is not fallen, but now that activity can be cause for the fall down. But the same activity for the fallen person doesn't cause him to fall, because since he is already fallen. Association with women is fault for the sannyasi, but association with his wife during her fertile period is good, the householder, since that is natural. So if he didn't associate when she is in the after that means that 5 days, then he didn't associate, then that is a dosha actually. Then that is dosha for the husband if he is not associating her. For children actually, not for the enjoyment. It is a fault for a person qualified for a householder life not to associate with his wife. An example is given for both these conditions. Okay. Yato nivarteta vimuccheta tatastataha esha dharmo nrunam kshemaha shokamoha bhayapaha. By refraining from a particular sinful or materialistic activity, one becomes freed from its bondage. Such a renunciation is the basis of religious and auspicious life for human beings and drives away all suffering, illusion, and fear. So that's why by refraining from a particular sinful and materialistic. So that's the one all the time he refrain in the karmis. What he has to do? He has to refrain himself from doing the doshas and always try to do the gunas. So that's in Indian culture. If you see, if you go and meet the old people, so my vada, that means they always speaking. That means this is dharma, this is not dharma, this is dharma, this is not dharma. All their consciousness is always on that only. So I gave word to him. If I don't follow, then it is adharma. All the time. If you see the old movies also, 1970s and 75s, most of the times. So woman is going and outside is adharma. So all the consciousness is like that. The society's consciousness should be like that. Always trying to refrain oneself from the bad. Otherwise, there's a fall down. There's a fall down. Nowadays, this constitution taught so much actually. The fundamental problem is our Indian constitution. So that is a big problem actually. Because of the lack. So even some parties they are trying, they want to be a traditionalist sampradaya, vad, but The fundamental constitution is not supporting, then what kind of religion you'll be promoting? What kind of, so that means Vedic Samskruti, so Sanatana Siksha. So you want to promote, it's not a easy thing. क्यों हंस रहे तिरुमला? सनातन शिक्षा मैं ही स्टार्ट की। तो हंसो मत, वो तो होगा। अभी जरूरी है वो तो। So devotees, they don't see guna dosha. So that's why our devotees, they don't want to see guna dosha, whatever is. Huh? Everything is right, okay. So it's very good actually, because Ananya Bhaktas, they don't see guna dosha. And that's why no need to see any guna dosha, do whatever you do. What is impure activities? You are engaged in the 24 hours in the certain passionate activities. How your consciousness is getting impure, how that is impure, that is, it's contaminated by the modes, that is a dosha. So working under someone, being a brahmana, you are working under someone, so is a dosha. So working for the money is a dosha. So these fundamental principles are very much neglected. And then, but we got the asa kiranam, that is hope, that is ananya bhakti. But ananya bhakti, ananya bhaktas, they don't see gunadosha in the devotees. When they have full surrenderance, full dependence. And it is said clearly. So whoever is doing the ananya bhakta, that means yesterday we have seen the Veda dukkhatmakan kaman parityaganishvara and dukko darkanscha jashamanascha dukko darkanscha garhayan. So there Srila Jiva Goswami is saying ananya bhakta never commit any sinful life. No, ananya bhakta never get, he may get the desire, but those desires are not at all sinful desires. No, it's completely, there is no sinful life in this range. Absolutely no sinful life. But how you are going to make this adjustment? There is no sinful life here. पता नहीं मुझे कहाँ जा रहे हैं हम लोग। I don't know. कहाँ हैं हम लोग अभी? बोलो, इधर हैं क्या? नहीं, इधर हैं क्या? इधर है? कहाँ? इधर भी नहीं है। You have to see good. कहीं लगता है हम लोग इधर भी नहीं है। इधर भी रहने के लिए, if you want to be here, you have to follow the lifestyle given by the guna dosha, whatever Krishna is saying that. पता नहीं मुझे तो एकदम क्या हो रही है। तो मैंने उधर जाना है, इधर। चलो 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 लगा देंगे। क्या? So because Ananya Bhakti means he is completely leaving the karma and jnana. Leaving karma and jnana means, karma means he is living the sinful life also. It's not that leaving karma means living the only so good life and following the sinful life. No. तो लेकिन तब कैसे जाएंगे? अच्छा, बाकी लोग इतना स्वार्थी देखिए, तो पूरा स्वार्थी है। Okay. But actually, yeah. So that's what Prabhupada wanted, simple lifestyle. No need to work in the factories. So much he said. About this Gunadosha, he said a lot. A lot he said actually. He condemned so much. Yeah. Yes. So that's why, so purity of the life is this Gunadosha. Because who are not in the Ananya Bhakti, so they has to follow this. So Gunadosha. Adhikara is not there. So that's why if you are not having Adhikara of the Ananya Bhakti and you don't have that kind of Shraddha, and now you are trying to do the Ananya Bhakti and claiming yourself as Ananya Bhakti, and that's why you are using the I am now Ananya Bhakta, I can do anything. This is Vanchaka, cheating. This is happening actually. माइक ले लो वो लोग भी सुनेंगे अच्छा बोल रहे हैं.
When I was in book distribution, there was one devotee. He's in charge, but he's in charge, but he was not yet initiated. So we talk about like guna, this and that, and I tell him, so you are not advanced devotee. You are not like a bhava in the stage of a bhava, and say, how come you can say like this? He's saying that. How come you judge? How come you know this? So now I am remembering that how he can say, and sometimes devotees are whimsical. They say, we leave everything, house and everything. So now I become sadhu. But to become sadhu is not easy.
Prabhupada is saying, becoming Vaishnava is not a joke. It's not easy. So that's why Prabhupada is saying, work, do the Varnashram, do that. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I was studying.
Actually, devotees are there themselves. They don't know where I am. They consider that I am sadhu. I am the advanced devotee, this and that.
First of all, we don't know. First of all,
after they get married and beat by wife, then they understood where I am.
And you are telling about only brahmacharis, but we are speaking about in general devotees. So we should understand the what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam and the various acharyas. This understanding should be clear. Mataji, इतना हंस रहे क्यों आप? बाप रे. Mataji laughing so much. That means after he said, after marriage, one wife beats, then he will understand. He will understand what is right and wrong. Then you understand where I am actually.
Actually, I heard one thing, Prabhuji. Can I share with you? In Telugu. ఒక టెంపుల్ ఒక బ్రహ్మచారి ఆయన కుకింగ్ లో ఉండేవారు అనమాట. చపాతీ చేయాలి ఆయన రోజులు, అరే రోటీస్ ఇన్ని చేయాలా, ఎవరు చేస్తారు ఇక్కడ ఇవన్నీను అనేసి, నాకేమొద్దు బ్రహ్మచారి లైఫ్, నేను పెళ్లి చేసుకుంటానని పెళ్లి చేసుకున్నాను.
Actually, Mataji is saying that she was remembering one brahmachari. He was in temple and he was given with a lot of service. He was saying that, hey, why I will do this much service? I don't want to do. I will go for marriage. Then he went for marriage and he was doing so much.
వాళ్ళ ఆవిడకి నడువు నొప్పి అనమాట.
His wife got the back pain. That's why he is doing whole day everything.
I know, Mataji, I like to share one more thing. One devotee, he was staying with us before. So, and we tried to give him some service, but he was saying, no, I have to study only. I don't want to do any service. My work only to study. That's okay. But once he got married and he started washing his own wife's clothes also.
Wife's clothes.
And bringing water and everything. Then when we saw that, what are you doing? What to do? Because situation is different now.
Yeah. So my main point is now as a concern for our society, mainly we have to explain the concepts very clearly. This is my humble request for all of you. So explain that means they should understand. So what is gnana, karma and bhakti, and what are the qualifications, where I am, and what is my adhikara, where is I am having my adhikara, my call, that means where I am fit, what I should do. So based upon that they should do. Then there is a proper progress will be there. So unnecessarily if you're messing up, so principles of devotion, yes, it's very pure, and you are applying, you are not qualified for that, and you are applying those on you, then that is a dosha actually. This point is missing. Yes. This thing. In our society, main problem is what? So main problem is, first of all, they should know these three, that means three types of samukyam. That is gnanam, so bhakti, that is ananya bhakti, and karmarpanam, and karma. Karmis, that means karma. So, and what is the eligible, that means eligibility for this detachment, for this shraddha, and for the so karmarpanam. So who is not doing and but started offering karma, then they are known as karmarpanam. So to do gnana, what is the eligibility? Detachment, nirvinnata. For the doing ananya bhakti, so shraddha, that means purna shraddha, 100%, sharanagati. So, and for the karma, atyasaktaha, that means who has a materially attachment. So that means nirvinnaha, atyasaktihi, that means shraddha. These are the qualifications. Our, what now we have to, so in our society, members has to know, so where I am, whether I am in this circle or here or here or here. So they should know clearly. After knowing this, so according to their place, wherever they are, if they are belong here, they should do the karma also. Then they should know the gunadosha, and what that means, the type of karma what they are doing. That is also important now, because they are offering to the Lord. Lord is saying that what? Do the guna. Guna means according to their position. That means their respect. That means that's why people also has to be divided. Prabhupada, if you hear Prabhupada lectures, Prabhupada is speaking everything whatever we are discussing. Of course, we are unable. We failed to implement. But he wants people to be divided nicely, and according to that, they should accept the respective karma. Along with that means do the sakshat bhakti. So to develop the, so with the goal of developing 100% shraddha, and develop that and do the ananya bhakti. So this is his idea is very clear. His planning is very clear. But only thing is, we are here and trying to apply this, trying to follow the ananya bhakti. So, but you are here. So then you are trying to do what? So vanchika, that means you, Viswanath also said not today. So in that first, second sloka's explanation, cheating. That means he is not having the 100% shraddha, but doing the ananya bhakti is what? Is a cheating, the dosha. So no, trying is not bad. No, he is not doing this. So someone is here, that means he doesn't have 100% shraddha. Okay. So, but he heard the glory of the bhakti, but he didn't develop such a faith. That means full dependency on the Krishna he didn't develop. But he heard the merits of the ananya bhakti and trying to follow that. But he will not follow because he doesn't have full shraddha. Whenever you have full shraddha, naturally full shraddha, then only you are able to follow. But then you try to follow, then what will be happening? You will be failing. You'll be doing the cheating only. You'll be bending the ananya bhakti principles. So that will happen. So that's why according to their adhikara, swesve adhikare, according to their adhikara, they should act. This is the point. Understanding. So also one should know his position properly in spiritual position. And also we don't have the properly what is karma. We are very much lazy to define that also. We are lazy. We are so lazy. So many things are pending. Na? You don't know in this present time, place and circumstance. So what is karma? What is vikarma? That has to be based upon this Gunadosha chapter, this 21st chapter. So we have to find out that some are trying in that. That's Damodar Prabhu and some Dharma Shastra. They are doing research. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj disciples, some group of people. Nothing is impossible once if you start working and trying to. That means now you are seeing everything is a mess in the society. But once if you start, that means developing slowly, small communities, and gradually, it will be aligned. Actually, it's not an impossible thing. अभी डरना नहीं, एक बार देख के तो अभी क्या करेंगे हम लोग. डर के हम लोग छोड़ देंगे तो कौन करेंगे? तो हिंदू वाले करेंगे क्या? हिंदुइज्म वाले कोई नहीं कर सकते ये सब, ओनली वी कैन डू। हिंदुइज्म से कुछ नहीं होगा। हिंदुइज्म का डेफिनेशन का अर्थ ही नहीं पता है। दिस इज अ वैदिक सिस्टम एक्चुअली, दिस इज अ टोटल पिक्चर ऑफ द वैदिक लाइफ। सो जस्ट भी चिल्लाने से हिंदुइज्म नहीं होता है। नेक्स्ट। अच्छा, अधिकार देखना है ना, वो तो सही बात है। So, we are also accepting there is no need of designation of the varna and ashrama after entering into ananya bhakti. We are not rejecting, but you have adhikara meant for that. But why, where you are, there is a point. We are meant for that, yes, but where we are. Next, Prabhu, which one? 18. विषयेषु गुणाध्यासात् पुंसः संगस्ततो भवेत्, संगा तत्र भवेत् कामः, कामादेव कलिर्नृणाम्. One who accepts material sense objects as desirable certainly becomes attached to them. From such attachments, lust arises, and this lust creates quarrel among men. So, dayato vishyan pumsaha sangastesho bhajayate. Some same series is going now. 1 second, Acharya, what he is saying? What Acharya is saying, bro? So 19. बहुत टाइम नहीं है, एक एक चैप्टर पूरा प्रिपेयर करने में हो नहीं पा रहा है एक्चुअली, और वो भी गर्मी है, इतना थोड़ा सा कम प्रिपरेशन हो रहा है। इतना एक एक चैप्टर बढ़ाना है मुश्किल है। हमारा तो 15 श्लोक ज्यादा है मेरे लिए। 10 से 12 श्लोक कर सकता हूँ मैं, लेकिन अभी तो इतना हूँ, फिर भी चलो। यथा श्रुत प्रवृत्ति परतां वेदस्य निराकर्तुं प्रवृत्ति मार्गस्य अनर्थ हेतुत्वं दर्शयति। यथा श्रुति प्रवृत्त परतां वेदस्य निराकर्तुं श्रुति प्रवृत्ति परतां, that means pravritti paratam means following the dharma artha kama. So as explained by the shruti, so vedasya nirakartum pravritti margasya anartha hetutvam darshayati. So pravritti margasya anartha hetutvam, pravritti, this artha dharma artha kama is also, that means first of all people are like animals. We should bring that animals life, people who are like animals. So by defining the, that means righteous and unrighteous life, guna and dosha, so that they should be engaged in the dharma artha kama, and then after that also should make them to leave this also and act on nivritti dharma and the moksha. That means they should do the karma arpanam, and finally they should enter into this or that. That is the goal actually. So that's why you have to also define this also is not the goal of the life, dharma artha kama. Moksha, or otherwise moksha means bhakti, or bhakti is the ultimate. So that is being so now rejecting of dharma artha kama is being explained here. So but one is in association of the sense objects, then what will happen? He will be getting the lust, desire for them. Then kalir durvisha krodha tamas tamanu vartate tamasa grasyate pumsas chetana vyapini drutam. From quarrel arises intolerable anger, followed by the darkness of ignorance. This ignorance quickly overtakes a man's broad intelligence. Jayito vishan pumsa sangasto shopade sanga sajjayate kama kamat krodot bhavati krodat bhavati sammohat sruti brahmshat buddhinashat pranashyati. So this is the steps. So now lust, by the lust there will be quarrel. Mujhe chahiye wo object. Then after that, so after that quarrel, when anger will come. Then anger, when one get the anger, then everything, all intelligence is knowledge is now lost. Intelligence is lost. The ignorance quickly overtakes man's broad intelligence. Krodha is out of the ignorance. So that in that ignorance state, his intelligence is lost. किसी को गला काट सकते हैं, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. because intelligence is lost. Taya virahita sadho jantu shunyaya kalpate tatosya swartha vibramsho murchitasya mrutasya cha.
O saintly Uddhava, a person bereft of real intelligence is considered to have lost everything, deviated from the actual purpose of his life. He becomes dull, just like a dead person.
Yeah, a saintly Uddhava, a person bereft of real intelligence. His intelligence is lost. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. So then he lost everything. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. That means everything is gone. Deviated from the actual purpose of his life. He becomes dull, just like a dead person. That's why, of course, he's engaged in dharma, artha, kama, but he should not be engaged in the too much into the sense objects. He should come out, raise his consciousness from here also, because he is doing the good activities and earning the money and enjoying the sense objects. So then another person also is trying to enjoy the sense objects. He also likes the same sense object what you like. Then there is fight. Then there is complete anartha will happen. विषयाभिनिवेशेन नात्मानं वेदना परं वृक्षजीविकया जीवन व्यर्थं वस्त्रेव यः स्वशन्. Because of absorption in sense gratification, that means kama, what will happen? One cannot recognize himself or others. He cannot understand himself as a soul, and also he cannot understand others also as part and parcel of the Lord. Living uselessly in ignorance like a tree only is merely breathing, just like a bellows. This bellows, you know, na? Bastraha for the karkhana in the iron shops will be iron karkhana will be. So like just it's taking the breath and leaving. So similarly, this body is also like that, no use. So if there is no spirituality, that means now you should raise him to nivritti. That means towards sammukhya is needed. Doing karma is not ultimate. You should brought to this samukhyam, karmarpanam. So phalasrutiriyam runam na shreyo rochanam param shreyo vivakshaya proktam yatha vaishajya rochanam. Those statements of scriptures promising fruit to rivers don't prescribe the ultimate good for men, but are merely enticements for executing beneficial religious duties, like promises of candy spoken to induce a child to take beneficial medicine. So that's why, अरे लोग बोलते हैं, actually people say that, what they say, hey, if you do this dharma, you'll be getting this result. If you do this dharma, you'll be getting that result. Like that, many falasruti is there, but this falasruti is not the ultimate good for the jiva. Getting this result is not ultimate good for the jiva. That means if you get this dharma, you'll be getting this sarga prapti, then you can enjoy. This is not good. Only why these are recommended then? Why they are given there in the Vedas? Just to engage him in the dharma. It is enticement. That means it's just allurement. So to follow the dharma, and this dharma has to do for the savai pumso paro dharma. Yato bhakti radokshe. This dharma has to be done for satisfying Hari. So that is the main thing actually. But that's why here Krishna is saying, by seeing the falasruti, one should not struck himself in getting that phala, that result. That's not good. That is only for the allurement. That is not the real benefit for the jiva. Next. Utpatyaiva hi kameshu praneshu swajaneshu cha asakta manaso martya atmano nartha hetushu. Simply by material birth, human beings become attached within their minds to personal sense gratification, long duration of life, sense activities, bodily strength, sexual potency, and friends and family. Their minds are thus absorbed in that, which defeats their actual self-interest. Actual interest is what? Self-realization, or otherwise, so paratattva realization, realizing the absolute truth. This is the purpose of life. But now they are what? Making their own community, relatives, friends, increasing the body strength, gym, and doing their sex power, so and also entertainment, like this, all these sense activities, going to the outings, enjoying life. So this kind of things they keep on doing and engaged. So but this is not correct. Nata Natana vidushaswardham brahmyato urjina dhvani katam yunjat punasteshu tanstamo vishato buddha. Those ignorant of their real self-interest are wandering on the path of material existence. That's why these karmis always like this. They are rotating there only, going Swarga or Naraka, Swarga, Naraka, and coming to the earth like this. They are always rotating in this circle of birth and death. So because they lost, they don't know the self-interest. So not knowing the self-interest, why would we Vedas further encourage them in sense gratification if they, all the foolish, so submissively pay heed to Vedic injunctions? So that's why he is seeing Vedas are prescribing the fruits. That means these falasruti fruits. So, oh, I think this is only the ultimate life of the ultimate goal of the life, and he is just baffled by these sentences. But actually, Veda's intention is not to engage or gaining these results, but self-realization. Atato Brahma Jignasa. That's why Vedavyas is writing. Evam vyavasitam kechit avignaya kubuddhayaha falasrutim kusumitam na veda vadanti. Persons with perfected intelligence don't understand this actual purpose of Vedic knowledge. That means, and instead propagate as the highest Vedic truth the flowery statements. These are the flowery statements. The flowery statements results. So flowery statements of the Vedas that promise material rewards. Those in actual knowledge of the Vedas never speak in that way. So that's why Vedas are indirectly saying, Vedas are also, they are also Kamal actually. Vedas are also very, so they indirectly saying about the absolute truth, but directly they are showing these fruits, these results, falasruti. So that's why people are allured by this, and they are seeing only this much. Then that is not right. Evam vyavasita kechit avignaya kubuddhaya falasrutim kusumitam na vedagnaha vadantihi. So that means so, but actual knowledge of Vedas is not this. Actual knowledge of Vedas is so Upanishads, Brahma Kanda. Kamina kripana lubda pushpeshu falabuddhayah agnimugda dhumatanta swalokam navidanti te.
Those
okay.
Those who are full of lust, avarice, and greed mistake mere flowers to be the actual fruit of life. Bewildered by the glare of life, suffocated by its smoke, they cannot recognize their own true identity.
Yeah. So full of lusty people, what they do? They do the yajna. Big yajnas, and whole body will become black, and also heart become black. Heart become black because they have so much attachment for the results of that yajna. And that's their heart is contaminated with those, and also body become black. Whole day sitting in front of Yajna Kunda. So that's already said na, in the Sutta Goswami's that first canto. Saunakadi Rishis. Nate mamanga jananti hrudastam ya idam tat yataha ukta shastra hyusu trupo yatha nihara chakshusha. My dear Uddhava, persons dedicated to sense gratification obtained through honoring the Vedic rituals cannot understand that I am situated in everyone's heart, and that the entire universe is non-different from me and emanates from me. Indeed, they are just like persons whose eyes are covered by fog. These karmis, so whole chapter discussing about these people only. These karmis, now they are not able to see Paramatma in everyone's heart. They are seeing only the smoke and the results, adrushta phalam. That means karma phalam. That's all. So next, te me matam avignaya paroksham vishayatmaka himsayam yadi ragasya yajna eva na chodana. Himsa viharahya labdai pashubi swasukechaya yajante devata yajna pitrubhuta patin khala. Those who are sworn to sense gratification cannot understand the confidential conclusion of Vedic knowledge as explained by me. Taking pleasure in violence, they cruelly slaughter innocent animals and sacrifice for their own sense gratification, and thus worship demigods, forefathers, and leaders among the ghostly creatures. Such a passion for violence, however, is never encouraged within the process of Vedic sacrifice. These people, karmis, keep on doing the Pashu yagas, many yagas, and killing the animals for the getting the material results, but they are not able to understand the conclusions of the Vedas. These karma kandis, they are not able to understand the conclusions of the Vedas. That is nothing but the pure love of the Krishna. So that they are not able to understand. Swapnopamamum lokam asantam shavana priyam asisho hrudi sankalpya tyajantyardhan yatha vanik. Just as a foolish businessman gives up his real wealth in useless business speculation, foolish persons give up all that is actually valuable in life and instead pursue promotion to material heaven, which, although pleasing to hear about, is actually unreal, like a dream. Such a bewildered persons imagine within their hearts that they will achieve all material blessings. कितना बजेगा टाइम? आधा घंटा है ना, अभी दौड़ा देंगे. अभी का 3:30 चले?
No, I have to go for some service.
आप जाना है क्या? 3:30 तक रहेंगे नहीं तो क्या?
जल्दी करना थोड़ा सा, ठीक है?
चले, हाँ ठीक.
थोड़ा सा वहां जाकर
और कितना बचा है? 43 ओनली ना? अरे क्या है, तो 10 बचा है बस. Just as a foolish businessman gives up his real wealth in useless business speculation, foolish persons. So some merchant who is a foolish person, he gives up, he lose actually his whole wealth in because of speculation in the business. So similarly, foolish person gives up all that is actual valuable in his life and instead pursue promotion to the material heaven, which although pleasing to, so like a dream. Such a builder person, so that means he is wasting his life just for getting the material results. So next, rajas sattva tamo nishta, rajas sattva tamo jushaha, upasate indra mukhan, devadi nayataiva mam. So those established in material passion, goodness and ignorance worship the particular demigods and other deities headed by Indra, who manifest the same modes of passion, goodness and ignorance. They fail, however, to properly worship me. These people, karmis, they are interested in worshipping the demigods. By worshipping demigods in us, so the respective demigod in which guna, so same guna will increase in you also. So he is a lusty guru, he is lusty devata, then you will also increase the lust. So like that, he is a devata is representative of ignorance, then you will also increase in the ignorance. But that's why they are, that means worshipping the devatas to get the results quickly, but they are not worshipping the me, Krishna. Ishtveha devata yajnair gatva ramsyamahe divi tasyanta iha bhuyasma mahashala mahakula evam pushpitaya vacha yakshitapta manasam runam maninam chatu lubdanam madvartapi narochate. So the worshippers of demigods think we shall worship the demigods in this life, and by our sacrifices we shall go to heaven and enjoy there. When that statement is finished, we shall return to and that enjoyment is finished, we shall return to this world and take birth as great householders in aristocratic families. Being exclusively proud and greedy, such a persons are bewildered by the flowery words of the Vedas. They are not attracted to topics about me, the Supreme Personality, Supreme Lord. Already we rejected in the 12th chapter, that's, you all remember. So that Karmakanda section, so Krishna is refuting the Jaimini's Siddhanta. Same thing. This is the same thing. Yes. Okay, we'll go further. Veda Brahmatma Vishaya Strikanda Vishaya Ime Parokshvada Rashaya Paroksham Mamacha Priyam. The Vedas divided into 3 divisions ultimately reveal the living entity as pure spirit soul. The Vedic seers and mantras, however, deal in esoteric terms, and I also am pleased by such a confidential descriptions. Vedas are what? They are speaking truth indirectly. They don't speak directly truth. So like you see, they are showing the only Falasruti. But behind this Falasruti, what is there? One should offer the karma phalam to the Lord, and so he has to satisfy Vishnu and he should progress in his life. So that is the intention, but that is not spoken directly by the Vedas. Vedas are speaking something. So unwanted thing as directly and wanted thing indirectly. So this is like, it is liked by the Lord also. This kind of approach, Lord also, paroksham. Paroksham mamacha priyam. Veda, okay. Paroksham cha mama priyam. Shabda Brahma Sudurbodham pranendriya manomayam anantaparam gambhiram durvigahyam samudravat. The transcendental sound of the Vedas is very difficult to comprehend and manifest on different levels within the prana, senses, and mind. This Vedic sound is unlimited, very deep, and unfathomable, just like the ocean. ये साउंड कहाँ से आया अभी? एक मिनट. Turning इधर से कुछ माने Vedas actually Vedas are paroksha. That means they speak the truth indirectly, and because he is explaining how that is. That means Vedas are emanating from what? From the sound Om. Om is the origin of all the Vedas. So comprehending, that means comprehending the, so it's very difficult to comprehend the Vedas. The Sanskrit Vedas is very difficult to comprehend and manifest on different levels within the prana, senses, and mind. This Vedic sound is unlimited and very deep. That means it is having the deep meanings. Vedas are having very deep meanings. If you read the Upanishads and Brahmanas and Aranyakas, you can see how the things are spoken very indirectly. Max Muller gave the so-called commentaries. Some bogus actually. It's completely bogus. Prabhu, any commentary is there? हम लोग कमेंट्रीज ज्यादा नहीं है ना, बाकी सबका कमेंट्री ज्यादा नहीं है, बस ये सब. चलो चले जाएंगे, ये तो सेल्फ स्टडी है. रुको रुको रुको, एक मिनट देखने दीजिए. एकदम मैं इतना चीटिंग नहीं करना है तो मेरी अन्याय लगेगी. रस अच्छा बाप रे, बाबा भी दे, जीव गोस्वामी भी बहुत दिए क्या? uh, 37 ना 36 अच्छा. So शब्द ब्रह्मेति युग्मकम प्राणेन्द्रिय मनोमयम लौकिकवान. So what लौकिकवान वत पराख्यादि रूपेण तेषु आविर्भूतमपि सुरदुर्बोध्यं यतः शब्दतः अनन्तपारम् अर्धश्च गंभीरं दुर्विगाह्यं च तत्र दुर्विगाह्यं प्रवेष्टुं तावद अशक्यं कथंचित् प्रवेशे च सति गंभीरं. So actually here Jiva Goswami is saying this actually origin is the Om, which is from the emanating from the Mooladhara Chakra, and it is so Vedas are also coming, all the Vedic sounds are coming from the Om. So they are manifesting in the form of the syllables. So but still it is very difficult to understand the meaning of those Vedas. So that is the point he said. That is nothing more. So next, Mayopa Brahmitam Bhumna Brahmananta Shaktina Bhuteshu Ghora Rupena Visheshurneva Lakshati. As the unlimited, unchanging, and omnipotent personality of Godhead dwelling within all living beings, I personally established the Vedic sound vibrations in the form of Omkara within all living entities. It is thus perceived subtly, just like a single strand of a fiber on a lotus stalk. So that means Lord is saying here, so he is placing all the Vedas in the form of Om in every living entity. All the sounds are coming from the Om only. Huh? Whatever I am speaking is also coming from the Om. No, that is not syllable, no, actually. Vedic syllables it should be. Acha, sound. Yeah. So, but based upon the consciousness of that Jiva, that sound will be transformed into various sounds. Various forms. That original sound, it traveling from the various chakras, it is mixing with your consciousness. Then that means you want to speak, this is pen, this is marker. I want to convey in my heart. So this about this object I am thinking and I am seeing. So when I want to tell to others about this object, this is a marker. So that means original sound coming from Om only. but now it mixed with the my heart, and then there it is turned into the another. That means a specific form. This is marker. Like finally it comes as this is marker. So like that, based upon the consciousness of the different jivas, so the original sound Om is taking the different forms. But if you see everything, original origin is Om. So similarly, all Vedas are, that means Vedic mantras. So the essence of all the Vedic mantras is that origin is Om. So that we should understand, not the understanding the you do the putra, that means Ejeta Sarga Kama, that means Agnishtoma Yaga. By doing the Agnishtoma Yaga, so you'll be getting the Swarga. So here, that means you are seeing this, but you are not seeing the origin of this is the Om. That is the truth. And you have to do for everything for that. That is missing. So that's why, of course, Vedas manifested into different attractive ways for you, but the real intelligent person should see the origin of all those mantras. That is nothing but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva Paravedaha. So that is missing actually. I personally established Vedic sound vibration in the form of Omkara within all living entities. Krishna himself is placing Omkara in everyone. So that's why Om is there in everyone. But you are not able to hear the Om, because your consciousness is not like that. When you purify your consciousness, then you can see the, so Om is emanating as Om. You can hear Om as it is. Yes. Now that Om sound is mixing with your polluted consciousness, and you will be so hearing the various sounds. But when you change your consciousness, purified your consciousness, everything whatever you hear, then you will be seeing the origin is Om only. It's like the person who is liberated, that means who went to Uttama Bhakta, seeing everywhere Ishta Devata. So then he will be, that means whose consciousness is purified, whatever he heard, he will be hearing the Om, because he is seeing that only everywhere. That is origin. Yes. Yathornanabir hridayat urnam udvamate mukhat akashat ghoshavan prano manasa sparsha rupina chandomayamrutamaya sahasrapadavim prabhu omkarad vinjita sparsha swaroshmantasta bhushitam vichitra bhasha vitatam chando vischaturuttarai Anantaparam bruhatim srujatyakshipate swayam. Just a spider brings forth from its heart its web and emits it through its mouth. The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself as the revibrating premial vital air, comprising all sacred Vedic meters and full of transcendental pleasure. Thus the Lord, from the eternal sky of his heart, creates the great and limitless Vedic sound by the agency of his mind, which conceives of variegated sounds such as sparshas. The Vedic sound branches out in thousands of directions, adorned with the different letters expanded from the syllable Om, the consonants, ovals, sibilants, and semi-ovals. The Veda is then elaborated by many verbal varieties expressed in different meters, each having 4 more syllables than the previous one. Ultimately, Lord again withdraw his manifestation of Vedic sound within himself. So what? Krishna, actually Supreme Personality of Godhead, first he is manifesting. So that means, that's syllables. So consonants and vowels. That means I1, Rilri, K1, IOH. So these are the so vowels. A, I, U, Rilri, A, O, I, O. So and each one is having the 18 types. Anadatta, Udatta, Swarita. So next Hrasva, Dirgha, Pluta. With these variations, everyone is Hrasva, Dirgha, Pluta. One consonant is 3 types, Hrasva, Dirgha, Pluta. Once again, each one is 3 types. So Anudatta, Udatta, Swarita. That means 3 into 3, 9. So 9. So 9 into 2, Anuswara, sorry, Anunasika, Ananunasika. 9 into 2, so total 18. So like this, A will be 18 types, E will be 18 types, U will be 18 types. Like this, consonants, sorry, vowels are there, and also different vowels, consonants also. So akuka visarjaniyanam kantaha rutilasanam taluhu rutirashanam murdaha, like that. So various, so consonants, that means consonants also formed by the Lord. Then he will be making combinations of all these consonants and vowels. Then that is in the form of the Vedas. So that's why from his sky, from his heart, thus the Lord from the eternal sky of his heart creates the great limitless Vedic sound by agency of his sound branches out in thousands of directions adorned with the different letters expand. That means whatever he wants to say, that means that needs the what? Sound. That means some kind of syllables. So that's why he using the various syllables, he is giving the various orders to this whole creation. Hey Brahma, you should do this. Hey Vishnu, Shiva, you should do this. Hey Indra, you should do this. Hey human beings, you should do this. Like this, everything he is guiding actually. So by these sounds, these syllables, in the form of the Vedas, the Vedic sound branches out in thousands of directions, adorned with the different letters expanded from this syllable Om, the consonants, vowels, sibilants, and semivowels. The Veda is then elaborated by many verbal varieties. Like this, all the directions he gave the many instructions. Next, Gaitrashni Ganushtup Bruhati Panktirev cha Trishtup Jagat Chando Hetyashtyati Jagat Virat. So the Vedic meters are Gayatri, Ushnik, Anushtup, Brihati, Pankti, Trishtup, Jagati, Atichanda, Atyashti, Atijagati, and Ati Virat. These are the different meters. Why meters? Because when he speak some lines, those should be in a meter so that it can be sung. It can be sung nicely. So that's why those are also following that lines, that statements. So some meter. Kim vidatte kimachaste kimanudya vikalpayet ityasya hridayam loke nanyo madveda kaschana. In the entire world, no one but me actually understand the confidential purpose of Vedic knowledge. Thus people don't know what the Vedas are actually prescribing in the ritualistic injunctions of Karma Kanda, or what object is actually being indicated in the formulas of worship found in the Upasana Kanda, or what which is elaborately discussed through the various hypotheses in the Gnana Kanda section of the Vedas. So that's why I only know, because Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and Gnana Kanda, in all the Kandas, whatever is has to be understood, that I know. That means he knows and his devotees. What is that? That is loving that means Krishna Prema, that is loving the Yashoda Nandan. That is the highest in this whole creation. That is the highest essential, the rasa, the sara of the sara. That's a madhuri rasa in that. That is the highest thing. Okay. Any commentary on this? Last over, last ball. So this Vaikari, these are all said. These are all okay, not so much important. Okay. Mam vidatte mam vikalpyapohyate tvaham etavan sarva vedartha shabda asthaya mam vidam maya matram anudhyante pratishitya prasidati.
I am the ritual.
I am the ritual sacrifice enjoined by the Vedas, and I am the worshipable deity. It is I who am presented as various philosophical hypotheses, and it is I alone who am then refuted by philosophical analysis. The transcendental sound vibration thus establishes me as the essential meaning of all Vedic knowledge. The Vedas elaborate analyzing all material duality as nothing but my illusory potency, ultimately completely negate this duality and achieve their own satisfaction. So that's why he is saying here finally, I am everything. I am the worshipable deity. I am the ritualistic sacrifice. I am presented. So he is a final ultimate object to be known. Even this material world is also dualities, which is filled with the dualities. So this is also Lord's energy only. Behind this, who is there? That is Krishna himself is there. So that's why, so all the different kinds of the worships, this karmi has to know this. He should not struck himself in the injunctions of the Vedas and following strictly of those and just getting the results. But he has to understand finally all the Vedas, the origin of the Vedas is the Om, that is nothing but the Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that he has to know, and so he has to understood him. That is the point. Okay. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 11th canto, to 21st chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Lord Krishna's explanation of the Vedic path. By the kind cooperation and encouragement of all of you, so today we are able to finish. Like that, another 10 chapters will finish with your kind cooperation very soon. By the end of this month, 12th also will finish, Saturday, Sunday. Wherever we have to stay, there we will be discussing more, and wherever there is, we can go quickly. Yes, we'll do that quickly. It's not that we should explain the same thing which is already explained for last 3 years. It's not a point actually. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.